Guys, I am so happy. Today is Friday Eve. It is Friday Eve. Just grateful that it's almost Friday. My husband did the grocery shopping for me, which I am very grateful for. There's some sparrows outside fighting right now. What am I gonna make? I don't even know what I'm gonna make, but I'm just grateful that he did the grocery shopping for me. I need to clean the kitchen a little bit. How is everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing well. Today was kind of a busy day for me, but nothing crazy like yesterday. Looks like everything's starting to clear up. There's still a couple of warnings going on because I had some like friends and family like check in and ask like if I'm okay and stuff like that, and got the chance to confirm with some of my friends that everybody's okay, which I'm really glad for. But yeah, at this point, it seems like everything's clearing up. There is a typhoon that's coming towards Japan right now, but it looks like it's not really gonna like make a big impact on mainland Japan because we were kind of talking about that at work. But it looks like it's gonna. So I live in Kanagawa Prefecture in Japan, and the storm, it looks like it's gonna head towards Chiba and Ibaraki. So like it's gonna be barely even making landfall in that direction before going back out to sea. So that area is not very close to me. Like it's maybe like a 2 to 3 hour car drive away. So not really anything that like I'm expecting to affect my daily life. But I did get some concerned messages and DMs yesterday. Right now, I'm just hungry though. I think the fact that I've been going to the gym more frequently is starting to catch up, and I'm starting to like have an increased appetite because of that. I think that's what it is. I'm trying to make a big dinner today because chances are I'm gonna clean the house, which usually we do on Sundays, like Sunday afternoon. I've talked about this a little bit before on the channel that sometimes it's easier if we do cleaning on Sunday afternoon, because then that means we go into the week with a clean house, and then because of our schedules, it's just a little bit easier. But yeah, I find that this week the house needs to be cleaned. There was still some there's still some pepper in the pot that I'm washing. I didn't realize. Yeah, that's what caused me to cough. Yeah, this past weekend we kind of cleaned, like, but just like kind of like the minimum maintenance. But it was extremely hot. Like we had a heat advisory the whole time, and today is a little bit cooler. Partially because of the storm that's kind of lurking in the general area. So I'm gonna try and take advantage of that, get some cleaning done. I think right now one of the things that I'm having trouble with is managing my energy, because I've been having very low energy. And I think some of it is because, to be completely honest, I think some of it is because of the medical condition that I have. I've talked about just briefly on the channel, like what's up with that, but I kind of think that is why I've been feeling super tired. So today I'm actually feeling a little bit better. So I might push it a little bit and do some extra cleaning before bed. That is what I'm thinking to do. Why is this down here? And I know my husband washed it because I don't remember it. Let me not break it. All right. I don't know why, but my arms are a little bit sore. And I'm trying to remember, what did I do at the gym that had to do with like my arms, especially my shoulders? I can't remember what I did. What did I do that could have caused that? Don't know. I got an email from Twitch. If you guys are watching on Twitch, I got an email from Twitch and it said something about like I might be able to do some customizations or something. I tried to like access it to see like what is going on, but I could not figure it out on my phone because I think the smartphone version of Twitch is kind of like pared down to size, so I don't think it has the full capabilities of like the regular Twitch. But that could be good news if you like watching on Twitch. So I have to go check that out on my computer. And I need to decide what I'm making for dinner. What am I making for dinner? What I would like to make is pasta. But I think the pasta might be a little bit boring. What are these partially frosted sliders? Oh my gosh. They couldn't even be bothered to put the sticker on straight. Look at that. This one, the sticker's on correctly, and then look at this. I think I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit though. It seems like it's slightly defrosted. And that's like the best thing I could think to make is pasta. Because I don't really have any ideas. Why is this one like this? Is it safe to eat? Yeah, this one looks kind of a hot mess. Well, like I said, I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit. I need to defrost that before I can use it. We've had a couple of discussions on the channel about the fact that I don't really have an oven. I don't really have an oven. Instead, I have this guy right here, which can do oven things, but is not really in the standard sense. So let's just do this. And defrost it. I have concerns, but here. Is this clean? It's not even. See, this is why I'm cleaning my house after this. Because lately it's just been so busy that like some of the like daily stuff that should be done that should have already been taken care of is kind of like not done. I'm excited to go look at Twitch and see what's happening with Twitch because I don't know what the notification I got means, but if it's good news, that could be more fun for everybody that likes watching on Twitch. Or I don't know. I'm making a mess. I wonder if that's my husband. He's just playing with the doorbell. I'm pretty sure he's outside. That is loud. Oh, hold on. I can see. Hold on. Yep, he's got it. I don't know why the person would ring the doorbell with him like right in front of the house. That's interesting. Maybe they didn't see him. It's okay. It's crazy because as loud as the doorbell is, as loud as the doorbell is here, like downstairs in the house, it's difficult to hear upstairs. So I think I put like a memo on like one of the delivery thingies, like please just don't worry too much about it. So just do your thing. Sure. Auto detect. Do the Okay, let's see. What do I have veggie wise? That's touchdown. I have cabbage. Yeah. Cabbage and I have cucumbers. I wish I had some vinegar because then I could try and make like a salad from it, but I don't know. I'll figure that out. This is kind of what happens when I don't go grocery shopping all week and then I kind of make like only like a half list. But it's fine. I'll figure out what I want to make. What you should do is go to Costco. Costco would be nice. But the issue with going to Costco, is that Costco is every single time always insanely busy. Hold on, let me move you guys. Can you guys see? Let me turn on another light. Costco is always super busy. And I feel like I have to like hide my cart someplace and then go shop. It's just insanely busy. I've like live streamed visiting Costco here in Japan before. So if you guys want to like go and check out what that looks like, there's a video of it, but it stresses me out. I'm not gonna lie. Some cucumber here. And peel off the cabbage. Oh, I think I have frozen veggies too. I don't trust the alarm that's saying it's done, so I'm gonna put the vegan ground meat through the defrost cycle one more time. Usually, what I usually do is defrost it well in advance of cooking it, but today was kind of not a fully planned dinner, as you can probably see. Hello. You come to join the stream? Oh, thank you. No. You spoil your appetite. Is it peanut butter? No. Don't eat a ton of those. You'll spoil your appetite. Some peanut butter Oreo. This is pretty good. I'm sure it was not on the grocery list. I want to finish eating this so that I can wash my hands. Let me turn on the light too so that we can see. That's better, right? Can you guys see better or what? I'll bring you guys closer. I don't know what I did there. Hopefully this is good because this is like I'm just using what I have in the fridge at this point. And hopefully it comes out okay. It's a good thing he got tomato sauce. You guys are gonna go here. Can I sit you on something? Ouch. 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 Hello. How's it going? How are we doing today? Today I am struggling to make dinner. It took me 10 minutes to connect my earphones. You know, I have some headphones that are like extremely powerful. And like, you know how like if you connected headphones to your phone in the past and then you like take the headphones out and like you put them in, it automatically connects to your phone. These headphones I have will connect to my phone and interrupt if I'm using different headphones or using the Bluetooth for like a speaker or something. The headphones will take over. Like they override the Bluetooth for other stuff, which is kind of annoying. My laptop that I used to draw on broke. I've been demoted to paper user. Oh, that's so cool. So cool that you draw, not that it broke. I would love to see your art. But I'm sorry that your laptop broke. Man, I'm about to dump the noodles into the pot without it boiling. That is the way to ruin dinner. I want to taste these noodles before trying to make pasta sauce because I'm suspicious of them. I've never made them before. So maybe I'll have to do something else. So what had happened was yesterday we got the whole tsunami warning. And then when the tsunami warning happened, a lot of the stores and stuff closed. So getting groceries yesterday was out of the question. And I asked my husband if he could get me groceries today, like before he headed home from work, which he did. Oh, these beans are like growing. I don't even think I can use them. I don't know if they're safe to use. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT on that because they look like they're splitting open to sprout. So yeah, basically dinner at my house is a chaotic affair right now because yesterday when I tried to go grocery shopping, literally everything was closed. And I didn't make a good list for my husband. I kind of just like gave like an outline, but it was kind of a rush list. And now I'm realizing there was other stuff I should have asked if he could grab. But he grabbed everything on the list, which is fantastic. Yeah, they smell weird. They smell weird, and I don't know if I trust them. What is the chances that you would eat a bean that's like this? Like, it's literally doing this already. I have to ask ChatGPT if that's safe. Because I always soak beans. Like, that's how I grew up making them. You soak them before you eat them. But these ones, like, I don't know, they're like popping off. They're really like, they look like they're trying to grow. But tomorrow's Friday, which I'm very happy about. One of my coworkers, every time he comes into work, he always says Happy Friday. Hi, Max. How are you doing? That's what third grade science was. I feel like these beans are like a third grade science project, and I'm a little bit suspicious to eat them at this point. Let me see what I have as far as seasonings, because I really needed to get more groceries. Should I go to the store and get veggies? Maybe after this dinner. Mystery beans. This is what the beans look like, okay? This is where we're at with the beans, okay? And to me, they look very, very much like they're trying to grow. And they smell like they're trying to grow too. Like, they don't really smell like just regular, like no smell beans. I don't know. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT. I had a bean behind my curtain for like 6 months and it started growing moldy. It how did the bean find itself behind your curtain? That is my first question. I think I have additional questions. I think they are kidney beans. To be completely honest, I think that's what they are. But those are good for your health. That's not what I'm worried about. What I'm worried about is like if I can eat them, because I don't even remember when I started soaking them. I feel like I started soaking them last night. But guys, starting to work again after like being like focused on content creation is like a mind trick or something. Because like it just, you have to reorient your time, which is tricky to me. Paprika, turmeric. What else do we have? Ginger. Do I want to be adventurous today or not? I feel like I already have enough adventurous scenarios going on. Maybe I should just stick with the noodles. I already know the pasta that I already know is going to be good. What do you guys think? Should I make these egg noodles or should I make like regular spaghetti? Which should I do? Being adventurous today? Should I go with the adventurous route? I'm not sure what to do. The water's still boiling, so there's time to make a decision. I just need to decide, should I try to make an adventurous dinner and then risk it not being good? Or should I try and stick with normal? That is a question right now. I should have stopped at the store on my way home, but I wasn't thinking about that. Actually, on the way home, I was still thinking about work, which I really have been trying not to do. Like if once I'm back at home, I need to be thinking about home stuff. But I was thinking about, I gotta risk it for the biscuit. Okay. Bean skit. We're just gonna bean skit it and hope it comes out good. Bean skit. I met some lovely dogs today. This morning. So basically like I went into work and then I left for a little bit because I had to do something and then I went back. And so while I was between commuting back and forth, I met this guy and he had two dogs. He had one dog that was named Muffin and another dog that was named Biscuit. And Muffin was the one that was like loving everybody, and then Biscuit was kind of like about people. And it was one was a boy and one was a girl, and one of them was like one of them was a Chihuahua mix and the other was a Pomeranian mix. I think it was like a Pekingese and Chihuahua mix, and then a Pomeranian and Shih Tzu mix or something like that. Anyways, they were adorable dogs, so cute. I kept on like talking to them and petting them. I was in my work clothes, but I had to like get down and pet them and scratch them. They were just really, really sweet. The guy said usually the girl dog doesn't really like F with people, but she became my buddy. And he was like, you must be a dog person. And then he recommended me like a place that's like good for like dental services for pets here in Japan. And I think Moxie and Loki, probably by October or so, they should be due for a teeth cleaning or something. So that might be a good place to check out. And he said they do boarding too, which I think is interesting. So I have to talk to them and see if they can board cats or not, because like not everybody can board cats. We already have a boarding service that we typically go with. But he was very, very adamant that these people are really good. So if our usual pet sitter is busy, this might be a good like backup place if we decide like on last minute holiday travel or something. This is boiling. Let me read the instructions because I've never made this. Almost tore the package. That's why if you saw me pick them up before, they were wrapped in a bag because I used a little bit of them before and it came out so, but I did not follow the instructions. So now we're following the instructions. It says boil water, then add salt. Where's the salt? Oh, here's the salt. Y'all, this better come out good. All right, water is boiling. Salt has been added. Says cook on high temperature for 13 minutes. Okay? Then stir occasionally. And strain, serve, and enjoy. They make it sound easy enough. I'm a little bit concerned. But here, let me move you guys over. I need to clean the spatula. At this point, we're bean skidding it. I feel like I should not be this optimistic, but I'm feeling fairly optimistic. I mean, we're following the instructions. So if we're following the instructions, the food should at least taste as it's meant to. So we've got that going for us. I tried giving my coworkers some snacks today at work, and I was told that my healthy snacks are not fun to eat. So that's what my chow mein recipe does. So then it takes an hour. An hour? Ooh. We're about to boil this over. Chow mein actually sounds really good right now. And the texture of the noodles, I'm wondering if they might be better off doing kind of a chow mein type flavor or style versus doing pasta sauce. I don't know. All right, so it's 5:36 here now. And this has probably been going for a couple minutes, give or take. So we'll say 49, maybe. Take it off the heat. I don't know. We're kind of winging it at this point. I don't want the heat so high that I like ruin it. I'm going to keep the plastic because the plastic has the instructions for how to cook it. And I'm going to start cooking the meat. I burned myself a little bit. This is like very. It's gonna. That's not obnoxious at all. Oh man. Yeah, this doesn't feel promising. But I already partially defrosted it, so I gotta go all the way. Maybe I should turn it over and then again. Yeah, we'll do that. You're watching Dance Moms right now? There's so many mixed reviews on that show. some people have said like it's their favorite show and they really like it. Then other people said they didn't like it. And I haven't asked a lot of dancers what they thought about it. I used to dance a couple years ago. Maybe I can find like one of my college dance professors and ask them. But they probably were like, "What do you want?" But I've never actually watched it. I watched part of. Have you seen like the Dallas Cowboys cheerleading thing? Like they have a show. I watched parts of that, and that's the closest I've come. You just like watching drama. Fair enough. I used to watch Love Island before we moved to Japan, but it's become substantially harder to watch it here. And I think they've changed the show a lot, but that used to be like one of my like I just watched for the tea shows. Still seems like these noodles are pretty hard. I mean, they're definitely not ready yet. The taste is interesting. I mean, they're not all the way cooked now, but they're good enough to keep eating the noodle that I have. I just don't know if I want to put pasta sauce with them or not. You know what TV show I really like? As we're talking about this, now I suddenly thought of it. I like The Circle. That is like when it comes to like drama and stuff, that is like the show I really like to watch. I like to watch the show because it's like got drama, it's got like heartfelt moments, it has strategy and alliances and stuff. But the contestants are like people from like all different walks of life. You've got like senior citizens, you've got people with disabilities, you've got people that are like playing with like their twin or they're playing with their mom secretly. Or oh my gosh, The Circle, don't get me started. The Circle is like so much fun to watch. I think my husband and I binge watched an entire season of it over the course of a weekend when we first found it. It's basically like this show where like you're in this apartment, right? With the people that you're competing against. But nobody can see each other. You have your own room. And your room's kind of decorated based on like the style of the character that you're playing, right? And so the way you interact with other people that are competing on the show is a social media profile. So like basically, like if I was on The Circle, I could be like, my name is Frank, right? And I'm a professional baseball player. And I ride like a Harley Davidson motorcycle. And you can use like a picture of Frank or whatever, right? And yeah, that's who I am, right? And like the only way to like confirm the person's actual identity is when you meet them in the end, basically. So people are kind of taking it as face value based on like what they see from somebody else and what they're like posting back and forth on social media. So it's really interesting. Like some people will go on the show and they're like, you know, I just want to like represent myself. And other people will be like, oh, well, you know, maybe someone will come on the show and they'll be like, I, work as a trash man or a trash woman, and I think that job is kind of boring, or I think people might judge me for it. So I'm gonna go and pretend that I'm a CEO because people will think something different of me socially. So it's interesting to see like what people's like headspace is like on why they play the game the way they play it. But it's so interesting. It's on Netflix, but I know Netflix is different depending on like where you are and where you watch from. It's like different for everybody. So yeah, that is a show I'll actually like sit down and watch, which is very hard for me to do. Y'all, these noodles have me suspicious. Not gonna lie. Because now they're like kind of like breaking. Maybe I should see if Australia has it. I don't know. I don't know if there's an Australian version now that I think about it. But I know they did one for France and they did one for Brazil. So it's not just the US. But I don't know like which countries the show is available in. Okay, okay, okay. I hear you. Yeah, these noodles are. I have concerns. I have concerns, honestly. Here's the thing with these noodles. I'm gonna be completely honest. I think for these noodles, in order for them to go over well in our house, I'm gonna have to finesse them. And I don't have the tools to do that. Like I feel like I'm gonna have to like kind of make them into like fried noodles. But I don't have the supplies to do that. The Amazing Digital Circus? What's that about? That I have not heard before. So, the verdict on the noodles is they could work. They could work, but I need heavy backup to make that happen. So it's gonna be a not today mission. This is like the longest I've taken to make dinner in a long time because usually I know what supplies I have and I'm just like, you know what? We're just gonna make this or we're gonna make that. And usually it's rice. But today, today I'm on the struggle bus. Don't worry, I'm not throwing out the bean skitted noodles. But they're gonna have to be a mission for Friday. Get some like coconut milk, some onions, some garlic, some chili peppers, and maybe fry them with tofu. I feel like that could be good. They almost have like a similar texture as the khao soi noodles, but the khao soi noodles that we had in Thailand are crunchy, so I have to finesse them. It's about these 5 people who get trapped in a video game. The video game is like this circuit thing, and the host sends them into different games. Interesting. It's like psychological horror. So is it scary though? Because you know I'm a baby when it comes to stuff like that. I can't hang. We know I can't hang. But it sounds interesting. It kind of makes me think of the book I'm working on right now, which is called Powerless, which is like another TikTok read. I have to decide. I really have to make a decision on whether or not I'm gonna finish whether or not I'm gonna finish The Cruel Prince. So I'm doing a palate cleanser right now, which is Powerless, which is like Hunger Games meets, I don't know, Hunger Games meets Fourth Wing. But I DNF'd Fourth Wing because I got mad over. This is why you shouldn't read spoilers online. I got mad because I saw a major spoiler online, and I got mad. You gotta turn the heat down. I need part of this dinner to go my way, because if it doesn't, I'm gonna be very upset. And then I'm gonna be like too tired to clean the house, which is like problematic. It's Friday Eve though. You said your mom is so mad at Fourth Wing? Oh my gosh. Me and your mom both. Because like when I found out the spoiler, and I'm assuming that you kind of like already know kind of like which way it's headed and what happened, like I was fuming. I was like, oh heck no, absolutely not. That's unacceptable. Nope, absolutely not. I actually really think there's a lot of things about Fourth Wing that are brilliant. Even though I'm still mad at it, there's a lot of things that are very smart about the writing. Like I like that the character has like basically like a, I would say, autoimmune disease is kind of the way it sounds like it is, the way it's written. So she has like some sort of physical limitation that she's dealing with already, but she doesn't let it stop her from being like a very like, you know, very formidable female heroine in like a book, which I think is absolutely amazing. I wish more like shows and animes were like that. She said she doesn't like that. It was amazing. And would be so suitable for everybody to read, and then they ruined it with an adulty scene. Okay. I think I know what she's talking about. And I think that is one of the issues with books right now, because like the whole, yes, I know. The whole YA versus like YA fantasy kind of thing is kind of a bit of a head turn right now, because like I think when I was younger, as like a teenager and like preteen, when I would read, I felt like there was a very big delineation. Like there's like a point, like a cutoff point between like the teenage books and the like young adult or adult books. So like while they may talk about serious topics, there were certain behaviors or like, I don't know, things that adults do that would be limited or like not talked about in like juicy detail. Which I'm not mad at some juicy detail, but I think depending on who the book is for, it needs to be, you know, marketed accordingly. So like some people just genuinely don't feel comfortable reading certain topics, you know? So I think maybe that would be something that would be helpful if that was taken more into account, because lately I've been feeling like a lot of the books that are labeled YA, you'll start to read it and you're like, whoa, 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 what's going on here? you know? And not just from the standpoint of physicality, not just from that standpoint, but also from some of the topics that are talked about. I'm not trying to like drag the book specifically, and I'm not going to go deep into topic of it because like I feel like it's not my channel appropriate per se, but there's a very popular series, and I tried reading that, and one of the it's like a Beauty and the Beast retelling. So if you're into books, then you kind of like know already where I'm headed with this. And I tried reading it, and one of my issues with it is the book deals with SA, which is like obviously a very, very serious topic. And I did not like that the character who, you know, experienced a traumatic situation that was like something inappropriate happened to that character, and the character was not like okay with it. The character was a male character, and the way the book was written was like I didn't feel like it took it seriously. I don't know how to explain it without explaining it, but basically like I don't think that consent versus non-consent or like harm in any way should be like taken more seriously just because a person looks a certain way or is a certain gender or talks a certain way or is from a certain background. And so I felt just a little bit like that is what was going on, and I didn't really love that. You know what? I actually think that's wonderful. I really think that's wonderful that you have your mom read the books first, because now she knows like the tea of like what you're reading, and if it's a really good book, you guys have that in common, and you guys can talk about like how you feel about the characters, which is always fun if you have somebody who read the same book and they get the same like, oh, I can't believe they did that, da 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 da, you know, whatever your feelings about the book are. And I also think that it's awesome that you trust your mom and you have that like comfort with her that like, you know, if she says that she thinks that the book is going like the wrong way, then you'll just like let it go, because like it's not really something that you want to pursue, which I think is really good. That's fine too, though. That's totally, totally 100% fine. Like, I think that's the thing. Like, and this is part of why I love reading more than I love like TV and movies and stuff, is because like with books, it's like there's a lot of freedom for the author to create any kind of world or any kind of character they want. And there's some authors out there who are very good at doing that. And I feel like there's more diversity. Like even with Fourth Wing, I really love that the character had like what was described as kind of like an autoimmune disease or like maybe like a bone disease. I don't remember exactly how it was described, but it's like the character was like different, but she was like very present and she was very powerful, and like you never felt like they were like holding punches because she was different. And it was actually something that really made her more unique and impactful as a character, which I thought was so cool. And I feel like we don't see enough of that in movies, so then they're just kind of meh. I've been trying to convince her to read this one book called Five Survive for like 2 years now because I thought it was amazing. Five Survive. Is that the one where there's like a plane crash and they're all trying to survive after that? There's a book that keeps on popping up on my recommended reads, and it's something about like celebrity, I don't know, celebrity plane crash thing. It's kind of like a mystery though. It's like they're trying to like figure out what happened and survive and stuff like that. Nope. Okay. I haven't read it, so you have to give me somewhat of a rundown, but without spoiling, just in case I like decide that I want to read it. It seems like we have kind of similar taste in books, at least in some sense. But I'm really having a hard time with Carden because I want to snatch him by his edges because I can't with the bullying. Like bullying is something that gets me so mad. I don't like being bullied myself, and I really don't like when other people are being bullied. And like especially if you're like bullying somebody's like family or like somebody for being specifically different, and you're like antagonizing them for that. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Trying to catch his hands. Carden is irritating me. The only reason why I'm like still trying to hang on is because like I'm like, well, it's Chips is giving me hopes that maybe he fixes up, you know. And if he can fix up, that would be a very powerful redemption because he's on my poop list. This one is 6 teenagers whose RV breaks down in the middle of nowhere. 8 hours, 6 friends, 1 sniper. Why do they need a sniper? Is this scary? This sounds very intense. I'm trying to remember what the last book I read about a sniper was called. Oh no! Plot twist: the sniper is an ops. Uh-oh. Okay, maybe I have to read it. I'll see if I can find it. 8 hours, 6 friends, 1 sniper, 5 survive. Okay. The good thing is I have the comments enabled so I can watch this back and make sure I remember the name. Interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm gonna see if I can find it. I had to look up there's a book on the list that I posted on my channel. And it's like this girl. She basically, I guess okay, this is kind of complicated to explain. But I guess her mom was working as a maid for this wealthy family. And I think something bad happened to her mom. I don't know if her mom died. I don't remember because it's a while since I read it. I have to reread it. I don't remember what happened to her mom, but something really bad happened to her mom. And this wealthy family just like didn't really care and didn't take care of her mom. So to get revenge, she basically like sneaks into their house or into their party or something like that. And she like pretends that she's one of their friends, and she's like, "Oh yeah, it's me." Like we'll say Sarah, right? It's me, Sarah. You just haven't seen me in a long time. They're like, Sarah, your hair is darker, and you're wearing a different size of clothing. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I just changed a little bit, right?" And so she convinces them that she's their friend, and she like basically blends in with them. And so she tricks them into letting them into their circle, and then she ends up sabotaging them and then like stealing from them. Which I'm not encouraging anybody to do anything like that, but I just thought the story was just like one of those like, huh? Like as you're reading it, you're just like, what the heck? I'll have to reread it and find out all the details. I don't think I'm describing it perfectly well, but it's just insane. Like the way the story is written is just like plot twist after plot twist after. The story is a plot twist. I got this murder mystery book from the YA section. And the first thing I got is a content warning of violence. that is the thing. That is the thing. It's tricky at this point. I feel like there should be some sort of different designator. Like, for movies, you have like G rated, PG, PG 13, and R, and then what, X rated, maybe? I'm not into movies, but at least for movies, like, hey, if the movie's like rated PG 13 or R, and you bring your toddler to it, you're probably going to expose them to like something that you may not want them to see. So like maybe you should stick with like the G-rated movies, right? And I feel like books don't have like enough of a rating system where like people can clearly know what they're getting into. Because the book that I was talking about when it came to like consent and like, SA and stuff like that I was not happy with, like I feel like it didn't have enough warnings. I don't know. I'm just very particular on certain things. It sounds interesting, but also annoying. Like you want to throw the character against the wall. It was one of those books, to be completely honest, it was one of those books where the good character, okay, the good character is very morally gray, okay? But the person that they're like antagonizing or they're in opposition to is so problematic and so mean that like you kind of are rooting for them to win, even though they're like not doing what they should be. Because like they're the people that she's sabotaging are just like bullies. They're entitled. They don't care who they hurt. They treat like people that don't have the same social status as them like they're disposable. It's just they do these things that are like super mean, and you're just like, bruh, really? And then like you've got like the good character, the main character, who just like, oh, I got one for you. And she's like in the background just laughing along, and she has some sort of evil plan, and you're just like, just wait till they get that. It's one of those morally conflicting stories to read, I think. But it's interesting. It is definitely interesting. And this is why when I posted the book list on my channel, I was like, I'm not agreeing with everything that these characters are doing. I'm not agreeing with all the concepts that are talking about, but I do think that all the books are interesting. No, it's like no one reads the books first and then just use them the shelves. I feel like that sometimes too. And I was listening to like, obviously, like it's not my like full-time topic to talk about books and stuff like that on YouTube, but I watch a lot of like book content creators. And there was one girl who was explaining that sometimes the reason that the book might be classified into a category that it doesn't really seem to match or doesn't really seem like it's okay for it to be in is because like it's a way to make more money, Like, for example, okay, this is just like a parallel, right? For example, on YouTube, I don't know if YouTube has it. On Twitch for sure it has it. YouTube, I keep saying YouTube. Twitch has categories where you can put your stream in. So I can like say like, this is a cooking stream, this is a chatting stream, this is like an about my day stream. I can pick like different topics, but the most popular topic that people are most likely to watch or search on Twitch is just chatting. So usually I just leave my Twitch category on just chatting because it's more algorithm friendly. And technically what I talk about fits into just chatting. But I think that the authors are kind of doing the same thing where they're like, it can kind of, the character is about 19 years old, so they're a young adult. So therefore the story could be considered about a young adult, even though the person is doing very, very adult things, or maybe even some things that most adults wouldn't do, depending on the book. Yeah, I think that's kind of what the issue is. I think if you follow the trail back, it leads to the authors trying to get paid. That is my theory. But on the plus side, I do think there's been like an increase in interest in books and reading, and maybe with that rise and increase, the authors will feel more safe and more comfortable to like expand how they list their books, knowing that they're still going to get readers. I don't know, but that's my theory for why some of these books are kind of miscategorized. And also, I think that for books, there's not enough of a rating system so that it's very obvious what the book has in it. Because like if the book was rated R-rated or like X-rated, you'd be like, oh, okay, it probably has something in it that might be what I don't want to read. Like if you're not into that sort of thing, you know? And I'm just saying this from the standpoint of like I've been there too and reading stuff and been like, hold up, what is in this? The place I'm moving to has a bookstore, which is super exciting. See, there we go. There's already something else exciting. Yo, have you read the Shiver series by Maggie Stiefvater? I actually think you would really like that. I'm trying to think what the trigger warnings for that's like the first Maggie Stiefvater book I picked up, and I think I picked it up when I was around 15 years old. But then I picked it up at the bookstore and I started reading like maybe the first chapter, and then I had to leave and I never finished it. And I finished it as an adult and I still liked it. But I've read the series a couple times, like listened to the audiobooks. They're like some of my comfort reads. The author's name is Maggie Stiefvater, and the series is called Shiver. And I want to say there's 5 books in it. It's Shiver, Linger, Forever. No, it's 4. Maybe it's 4 books. Shiver, Linger, Forever, and Sinner, I think is the last book. But I didn't like Sinner very much, which was very disappointing to me because some of the characters in Sinner were some of my favorite characters, but the way it was written, it just felt a little bit you know how like a book series is supposed to feel like it's in the same world? I felt like Sinner felt like it was in a different world, like it didn't stay in the same, and it's set in a different city, but it just, I don't know. But it's still, I think that series is worth reading, especially Shiver, Linger, and Forever. You already have a large pile. I'm not helping. I can see that. I'm definitely not helping. But lately, like, books have been such a comfort space, especially being increasingly busy. Sometimes, like, books are like a good way to like just like take a mental break and think about something else. Like the book that I'm working on right now, like the characters are like in some sort of like reality TV show type scenario, but it's not on TV. It's like it's being recorded by like these characters who have like snooping powers where they can basically like broadcast what they see, and like half the characters have superpowers and the main character secretly doesn't have superpowers, but she's pretending so she doesn't get deleted. I don't have time to read ATM. Neither do I really. Except for I kind of made time for Six of Crows when I didn't have time. But if you don't have time to read, I recommend audiobooks if you can, because they can be helpful. The only downside about audiobooks is I feel like for audiobooks, they hurt my ability to imagine the characters. So like if I'm reading the book myself, like I I imagine how the character's voice sounds, and like how, like, if the author says like, oh, like the book I'm reading right now, like the main character has like freckles, blue eyes, and like silver hair. So I can imagine like how that looks. But then if there's like an audio book and they give the person like a reading voice to like make the character's voice that sounds like Roz from Monsters Inc., it would kind of like messes up with my like imagination, right? Because I'm like, I start imagining Roz with silver hair and like blue eyes, and it just throws it off. You couldn't even imagine until you were 9 years old, like as in you didn't like imagine the characters, or you didn't feel like you were creative or imaginative. I've met a few people that said like that have told me like, oh yeah, I'm not like artistic at all. I'm like very literal, like very like I'm literal. I'm analytical. I'm logical. Like I just deal with like what I can see and touch and like manipulate with numbers or study or whatever. But then those same people that say all that stuff will turn around and start singing to themselves. And they have a beautiful voice, or they start like doodling something and they're really good at drawing. And I'm like, well, there you go. That's imagination and creativity right there. So I think everybody has varying levels of creativity, basically. That's what I think. We're making regular noodles for today. The fancy noodles are gonna be a fight I have to do on a different day. I'm not giving up though. I put them in the fridge. We did a reading comprehension at school, and my teacher realized that the reason I sucked at it was because I didn't imagine what the text was describing. So I spent the whole year learning how to have an imagination. Interesting. That is really, really interesting. So now I wonder, like for you, what were the subjects that you were like you were really, really good at naturally? Yeah. It's been an hour because I'm I'm like I don't have a headache today, which is rare because lately I've been having a headache after work. So like if I really don't feel that great, I don't be streaming too long. And two, I'm struggling with dinner today. So usually I just come in and I'm just like, yep, we're having rice and tofu. The end. But today I'm on the struggle bus. You said now I have an overactive imagination and see stupid stuff in the clouds. I think that's cool though. Like lately, I've been feeling like that about Japan in general. I've always been good at maths. I didn't get good at writing till high school. I feel like my writing would probably be more interesting and fun, but my writing that I've done as an adult has been all for either school, like university, or like corporate writing, like reports or like analytics or describing something technical. Um, so it's not like exciting or like flowery. It's just like, okay, um, what words can I use to make this concise and descriptive and easily understood? Or what words can I use to make this impactful so that people get the importance of whatever I'm writing about or talking about? And then that's it. Like, it's not like, you know, making somebody imagine something. And I always admire stuff like that. Like, my older sister's really good at that. But I am not. And sometimes I'll try creative writing occasionally. And like on our website, I have like a travel blog, and sometimes I'll write about the places that we've visited. But I haven't done that in a little while. But for a while, I was writing a little bit about the places that we visited in Japan, but that became a time issue. That's the main reason I stopped doing that. Speaking of time, I really had no intention of live streaming for this long. This was not my plan. I was planning to come in the kitchen and just whip up something, but that doesn't seem to be how today is going. But I'm still happy because I get to talk to you, and today is Friday Eve, which means tomorrow's Friday. I'm so happy about that. And I got to meet two cute dogs this morning. Which reminds me, after I finish this stream, I need to wrestle my cat to the floor and cut all of her nails, and then to wrestle Loki to the floor and cut all of his nails. And you just wanted to talk about the baby because I'm so sad about it. Because I came back and they're like kind of foamy and they smell kind of weird, and I feel like they're splitting open. Do you think if I throw them outside in the garden, they'll grow? Because I really don't trust them to eat them. Like, I'm being 100% honest. I think what had happened was, I set them to soak, but this is not like a climate controlled area. I just left them on the counter. I should have put them in the refrigerator if I was going to leave them to soak. But it's too warm in here, and so now they smell beanie. The birds will probably get to them first. Maybe. The birds are out there fighting though right now. Like the little sparrows, they're for such small creatures, they're really, really ornery. Are they all gone? They're all gone. So I didn't really notice until moving to Japan. I know birds like to take dust baths, but I never really noticed sparrows doing it until moving to Japan. But the sparrows here really love to take dust baths. So they'll find a spot that has like the right texture of dirt that they want, and they'll like make a little spot and they'll fluff their wings and stuff, and they'll just sit there for like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes doing that. But if one bird finds a really good spot and another bird notices that he's having too much fun, then it starts to be a squabbling match over the one spot. Even though there's so much dirt all around, they could just make their own brand new spot. That is what they do. So earlier they were fighting. I really hope that this round of pasta comes out good because I'm not making anything else. Like I have to clean the house. Like I'm getting tired. The conversation is fun though. I'll give us that. And I guess for the risk it for the biscuit plan, part 2 will have to happen tomorrow when I get more supplies. So that's probably what I'm gonna do. Earlier, me doing like that reminded me that earlier I was walking up the stairs and I was walking up the stairs. I'm weird, okay? So I was walking up the stairs like that, and my husband was like, "What are you doing?" Beans Kit. I should post that. I should post that on the community tab of the channel and be like, "What have you beans skitted this week?" And everybody that didn't watch the stream to this point is gonna be like, "Oh my gosh!" Sometimes I feel like sometimes I just do and say really weird stuff. I also like so at work I dropped something and I was like meow or something like that. It's funny in hindsight, you know? I think the other thing is, on top of all of the other things that we've already talked about, is this morning. Okay, this morning I went to get like snacks from the convenience, which has become like a work routine. And one of the things I did was get a Japanese pre-workout, which I've never tried before. Never tried a Japanese pre-workout before. But this one is like supposed to be like really healthy for you, and it's just a shot. Like it's very small. And it's the brand. I don't know if I still have the can for it or not. Maybe I have to put a picture um on the community tab. But it had like Shohei Otani or another baseball player on it. I think it was Shohei Otani, who's like a superstar baseball player, especially in Japan. Like he's like a legend over here already. So I was like, well, that's interesting. That's cool. I'll just try it. And I feel like ever since like having some of that, I've been kind of hyper today, just a little bit. Also, um, work consists mostly of just like being still and like paying attention and like working on my computer. So now I have some energy. Is this done? I feel like it needs like maybe 5 more minutes. This is the most complicated dinner I've made in a long time because I didn't have enough ingredients to make it like the way I usually would. So now I'm like, that reminds me, I put my water in the freezer. I know it looks like it should be tea. This had tea in it earlier, but I refilled it and then put it in the freezer. That's actually pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna need dinner to come out nice because see, that's what I'm saying. I'm in the same boat. I'm in the same boat. We need Sophie to be here and make us some muffins. Or give us some celery sticks. Sophie, if you watch this back later, you are missed. See, that is something I need technology to get evolve to that point. Like, can you imagine we could just send each other snacks back and forth? Like, if technology worked like that, we could just like warp snacks to each other somehow. That would be cool. I was also saying like a while ago in some old live streams that I really wish that smells were teleportable or like I could broadcast smells as well. Because like there's certain places that have some really unique or interesting smells that are exciting, you know? Except my friend keeps sending me pictures of expired milk. That is very extremely specific. Why milk and why expired milk? And speaking of why, you never explain how the bean got behind your curtains. How did that happen? It's just milk left on the streets or in her dorm. Okay, I'm curious. Okay, I'm curious. Is this a thing? Is this a thing in Australia? Lately, I've been seeing like in the US. Well, not in the US because I'm in Japan, but like, how do I explain? In American-oriented workspaces or like environments, I've been seeing if there so happens to be a roach, then people will put like a flower by it, and then somebody else will make like a post-it note gravestone, and then someone else will write like a eulogy. Like I saw that in Texas right before we left. Like there had been like a roach that passed away in the hallway, and somebody wrote like a whole memo about like this was a very good roach, and I he was loved by me and all my friends, and I can't believe he's gone. And I was like, how does this happen? It was a science experiment from the 3rd grade. I needed. Wait, what? You left it outside in the sun for 6 months? Uh-oh, my cat's crying. Why are you crying, Moxie? I don't know why she's crying. Moxie? What's wrong, girl? What's wrong? Why are you upset? I don't know what she wants. I thought it needed sun and then left it for 6 months on my windowsill so it didn't get cold outside. What, Moxie? Oh. Oh, no. I don't know what you want. I guess she was looking for me. Let me check and make sure she has enough water because she's acting fussy. Come on, Moxie. Let's go check your water. Come here, mamas. Mamas, come on. Why are you looking at me crazy? Come here, girl. See, this is what's up with cats. Like they just look at you like you're crazy when you call them, even though they know. Oh, I think maybe we got a package, and the package is like a box of cat food, and I think that's why she's upset. Because this is cat food. And I'm not gonna open it for her now, but maybe she knows. Yeah, I think they know it's cat food. Well, guys, I think it's just about time to sign out. Wish me luck that dinner tastes good. We've definitely streamed longer than I planned to, and I still need to clean the house. So I will see everybody later. Wish me luck, and I will talk to you later. Oh, your dog came as soon as I said food? That is funny. How do they know? Loki came in here too because I started talking about food and I picked up the box. Here's Loki. Loki, you want to sign us out? Oh, you're a big boy. Come here. Loki, say goodbye for everyone. No, don't jump on the fridge. Loki, say goodbye. I don't know what he's doing. He's purring though. He just looked at me again and wagged his tail. All right, while we have Loki's attention, Loki's gonna sign the stream out. Say goodbye, everyone. Say goodbye. Hi. Say goodbye to it's Chip's dog too. Yes? Right. Say goodbye. Bye.